Hello and welcome to 100 News. This side Tulika. Today we are at the Jantar Mantar where the Cockroach Janta Party is hosting protest, and it has been almost 6-7 days they are hosting the protest. Tell me, Saurabh, how far so it has been the protest is going on?
This today is the seventh day. We are completing a week by the night, and the protest has gained a lot of momentum because a lot of people from all across the country have been joining us. A lot of unions, Kisan unions, civil rights unions, Ambedkarite unions, everybody is joining us. Student groups are joining us. Day by day, you'll see the number of people increasing. Night by night, you'll see people sitting in also increasing, which shows that the protest is gaining a great momentum. And now on the 20th, when Sonam Wangchuk will be coming along with Kisan unions and Khap Panchayats and other student and civil rights organizations, you'll see the numbers swell in Jantar Mantar. Yeah.
Well, my question to you, Saurabh, is that you see lots of people joining, coming in support, but you are sitting at the center of Delhi. Why do you think there's no support from the government side? Why they are not coming forward?
Because the government is very arrogant. It thinks that it is invincible, that nobody will be able to question them, seek answers. They are drunk on power and have completely become deaf, dumb, and blind to the youth's needs. And that's unfortunate for any political party in power, because once they lose touch with the ground, then the downfall starts. And the downfall had started many years ago when the economy was also crumbling, when GST was implemented in a very arbitrary manner, when the demonetization happened, when so many other decisions were taken which were not really in people's favor. So now that the youth is coming out on the roads, not just in Jantar Mantar, but in many other cities where we went to, there are protests by other civil rights organizations, by other political parties also, which are taking place. So they must realize that the youth is awakening. They know what their problems are, and they are not afraid to voice them out anymore.
So if you are sitting here against the Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan, wherein he is giving interviews, wherein he is using unethical, terms and condition of words that he is using for the students, for the protester. What do you have to say about that?
See, Dharmendra Pradhan has used unparliamentary language against students. But that goes very well with the trend that this Bharatiya Janata Party has followed in the many years, because they don't really believe in the parliament. You see how the laws are bulldozed through in parliament. Every parliament session, you see there is no discussion, debate taking place. No bills are sent to parliamentary committees for scrutiny, debate, and discussion. All bills are just bulldozed because they think that they have the numbers, they have the power, so they can do anything. So they don't believe in the parliament, and therefore don't believe in parliamentary language as well. And that is why Dharmendra Pradhan comes out with a statement like this, calling the youth of this country, people who are so poor, so vulnerable, who are victims of a system that they have created. All of them who are coming out here, he's calling them terrorists. But who is an actual terrorist? Dharmendra Pradhan himself is a terrorist, because a terrorist kills people. And because of him and his incompetency, close to 20 students have killed themselves in the past many days. And he has no answers for them. He has taken no responsibility at all. So I really feel that the country's system needs to change. This kind of unaccountability, this kind of unanswerability, this kind of culture that has been created by this particular government, that needs to go, that needs to be cured.
Saurabh, you are hosting this protest, so there's a lots of responsibility on your shoulder as well. Wherein we heard 2 or 3 days back ago, there was some people who have done things which were not correct. There was a girl whose father was beaten up, his head was damaged. So what do you have to say about it?
See, like we have said, that it's not always possible to, read a person's face and know that they are a criminal. But the Delhi police should have at least screened videos that were being circulated online by these antisocial groups and gangs belonging to leanings of BJP and RSS. However, when that incident happened, it's very condemnable, of course. But after that, what action is the Delhi police taking? We've been pressing the Delhi police for the past 2 days that they need to invoke the SC/ST Act, because the victim and the daughter, they believe they belong to a Dalit community, and so SC/ST Act is automatically to be invoked. However, they are not doing that. What is also not happening is that stricter sections under IPC are not being invoked. For instance, the wound is so deep that it requires them to invoke grievous injury provision in IPC, which attracts about 10 years of prison time. Now, anything above 7 years attracts arrest also. So the person is not even being arrested. He was detained for 24 hours or so, and then he was released. So why is the Delhi police not invoking something which is very quite visible in the medical examination report, which is the 10-year IPC provision? If they invoke it, then they'll have to arrest this person. When he's arrested, then he's going to talk about all the other gang members, and all of them will have to be, arrested or interrogated. So the Delhi police is somewhere or the other, I feel, trying to shy away from that responsibility. But it sends a terrible message to the people of this country that Delhi police is quite incompetent when it comes to handling law and order and safety and security of the people.
And last question would be that today is the seventh day and yet no responses. Uh, till how long are you going to protest? What will be the last day that you'll be here?
See, as Sonam Wangchuk has already declared, he is going on a hunger strike until the government holds itself accountable. So it's an indefinite kind of a hunger strike. So we'll see what happens. But we are going to be here. We are going to continue our peaceful protest until Dharmendra Pradhan resigns or is shunted out.
Any last message to Dharmendra Pradhan? Because I assume that he would be also watching the videos that it's coming from here.
Dharmendra Pradhan ji must realize that it's actually quite mature of him if he takes responsibility, accepts responsibility, and leaves his chair. Because it does not behove him or his office too well when he just wants to hold on to that chair uh, as though there is no tomorrow, right? So I appeal to Dharmendra Pradhan ji to look into his conscience if he has any and resign from his post.
Who do you think would be the responsible person at that particular seat? Who can be the next education minister, according to you?
I don't know. We'll see who it is next. My hopes are not too high with anybody in the cabinet because what they tend to do is bring other ministers into this kind of position. But whosoever that may be, we will definitely keep an eye on them. We'll hold them accountable when the time comes. And they better be aware that people are watching, the youth is watching, the students are watching, and they have big responsibilities on their shoulder.
My last one more question to you that whenever something happens, there's lots of media coverages, big media houses comes into the picture, but at this point of time we don't see any big media coverages. What do you have to say about it?
Unfortunately, that is the condition of our mainstream media. I mean, what can we say? It just reflects that, our media is not really independent. Thank you.